This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Happy Monday, everybody. It is the After Party live on this Hide in Your Cave Monday. Feels like one of those days where you don't want to leave the house. Well, this week, we're taking it to the wine country. So we've got some great wine caves to check out. A little bit of like an advertisement for wineries, but that's okay. They're all in Sonoma County, and I think you're going to enjoy the pictures of these caves. So I have a lot of stories for you today, but I'm going to the chat to see what you guys have been talking about. Looks like Mondays suck. Yeah, Hide in Your Cave Monday seems to be the general consensus. Hi, Nullifidian. Nice to see you. Heather says hamsters can be pretty bitey. Then maybe you don't want hundreds of them or more than 100 of them loose on an airplane. We'll get to that story. Thank you, Heather. I know that's crazy. Karen says, I've always heard of hamsters biting. I had guinea pigs when I was a kid. I had a guinea pig as well when I was little. My daughter had, I want to say, 2 guinea pigs, and the survival rate was not high. We were not good caretakers of guinea pigs. So we had President Barack Obama and Rockstar, and neither one survived very long. I don't know what we were doing wrong. I still can't figure it out. I have a story about Blue Sky, Phineas. A lot of people are joining. As a matter of fact, thank you for mentioning it, because this show went on Blue Sky over the weekend. You'll find the After Party live on Blue Sky, and I'll post things from time to time there. And I guess people are migrating from Elon's X over to Blue Sky, and I'm happy to do that as well. I didn't have this show on X. I have a personal account there, but that I don't really use very much. But Blue Sky seems to be pretty positive. So a lot of people are creating those accounts. I know the Mark Thompson show now has an account, the Nikki Maduro show as well. So Blue Sky seems to be the new place to be. Definitely. All right, let's get into some of these stories. Oh, you know what I wanted to... This is a shameless mom plug. Over the weekend was a big music weekend at our house. My daughter, Julia, who is quite the musician, had a band competition where she's the drum major and is part of the Santa Rosa Youth Orchestra, where they had a big orchestra, a big symphony over the weekend show. And so I have video. I have video to show you. We'll start with the symphony, and it's like just a few seconds long. So here it is. Here's the symphony. You kind of zero in on her with her bassoon toward the end. Yeah, so there she is. So that was the symphony over the weekend. And I might not play all of this, but here is the band competition where Petaluma High School does pretty well. As a matter of fact, they come in first place at this band competition. And there she is twirling her mace in the middle of the street there. It's kind of hard to see, maybe. And there they come, the Petaluma High School Trojan Marching Band, down the streets of Fairfield over the weekend. So the band has gone pretty small over the years. I guess before the pandemic, they numbered more than 80 students participating, and now it's down to around 60. So the band is kind of small, but still they got first place in their little tiny division. And I wanted to share that with you. Kind of like I don't know, little what did I do this weekend, right? Let's get into the stories of the day. Did you see this thing? This is a meteorite from Mars. Yeah. And apparently, it gives us hope that there is evidence of water on Mars. This 742 million year old rock ejected into space by an asteroid impact. It was found in a drawer in 1929, and it contains ancient evidence of liquid water on Mars. Ooh, I'm getting some text. So the sliver of Martian rock that was in a drawer in a university apparently is helping researchers better understand the geological history of Mars. They used isotopic dating at Purdue University to determine that this meteorite, called the Lafayette meteorite, likely interacted with liquid water about 742 million years ago. About 11 million years ago, this asteroid collided with Mars, sending plumes of debris beyond the planet's atmosphere. And one of those meteorites eventually came down to Earth, hit the gravitational pull after a journey through space, and it ended up in Indiana. They don't know exactly when it ended up there. The details of the discovery are unclear. The rock itself is about the size, maybe, of a penny, and they say it somehow found its way into a Purdue University biology department desk drawer, where it was found in 1929. Then, sometime in the 1980s, unnamed parties donated it to the Lafayette meteorite. They donated the meteorite to the Chicago Field Museum. And while it was there, experts matched gases trapped within the rock to those detected in the Martian atmosphere by NASA's Viking spacecraft. So the analysis indicated minerals in the meteorite at one point interacted with liquid water on Mars. They can't establish a time frame for this, but this little penny-sized, weird, historied meteorite is giving us hope that perhaps there is water on Mars. So, kind of interesting. Speaking of all things space, though, there's some bad stuff going on at the International Space Station. Saw a story over the weekend that there's some type of potentially catastrophic leak. There's a disagreement on the severity. The United States and Russian officials are disagreeing about how serious this thing is. There's this leak aboard the International Space Station. It's an existing air leak in the Russian controlled section. US officials with NASA say this could eventually result in a catastrophic failure. Both agencies say they've known about the leak since 2019, but they have a difference of opinion over the risk that it poses to the International Space Station. It's divided into separate but connected Russian and American sides. So the ongoing cracks and air leaks in the service module transfer tunnel are a top safety risk, and NASA and Roscosmos are collaborating to investigate and mitigate the cracks and leaks to determine the root cause and to monitor the station for new leaks. That was from a report that NASA issued in September. The astronauts typically keep the leaking section sealed off from the rest of the space station. The section is used to separate the area where the spacecraft docks with the ISS from the rest of the space station. But the report says the rate of the air leak in the space station module hit a new high earlier this year, its highest level to date. So outside of the structural risk mitigation, ISS program officials expect continuing operations of the station will require further repairs and upgrades of key replaceable parts and may be more difficult to acquire as suppliers decrease or cease production. NASA officials believe the leak poses the biggest threat to the International Space Station. Roscosmos does not share the same level of concerns. The Russians think that the continued operations on the ISS are safe, But according to NASA, they can't prove it to NASA's satisfaction. NASA thinks it's not safe. So what do we do? Do we bring everybody home? Let that thing just float around out there? See what happens? The cracks causing the leaks are so small that they're invisible to the naked eye, and they're often located in the areas where utilities connect, making them really hard to access. Still, their teams are investigating the what caused all the cracks to happen. They don't have a common understanding of what the root cause or the severity of the consequences of the leaks will be, which is disconcerting if you're an astronaut that's going to go up there. So, American officials are pushing to have a team of independent experts on both sides assess the situation and try to figure out how to move forward. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Not good news for the ISS. Let's get to the story about hamsters. Cute hamsters. Look at this guy. There he is. These hamsters on a plane, they busted out. Unfortunately, it's not a good scene. Caused The hamsters have caused this airplane to be grounded for about 4 days because 132 of them escaped aboard the plane. This happened at a Portuguese airport. The 132 hamsters were in a box in the cargo hold. They were headed from Lisbon to Ponta Delgada Airport. They were grounded in Ponta Delgada when these 132 hamsters were found to have escaped into the cargo hold. The plane was kept at the airport for safety reasons. Apparently, the hamsters can pose quite the risk to the plane's electrical wires. I could see that. Now you have to check every wire on the plane. The workers spent 4 days scouring the plane for loose rodents, and the Airbus A320 finally returned to Lisbon on Sunday. 132 hamsters. Yeah, they gave quite the delay for that plane. Caused quite the problem. They're so cute though. They're so cute. Aw. They found the world's biggest coral, largest coral reef. This is so big, 2 football fields is how it measures. So big that you could see it from space, which makes you wonder why it had been hidden for so long. This has been growing undisturbed in the Solomon Islands, possibly for the last 300 years. There was a research vessel with the National Geographic Pristine Seas team that found this coral in the Three Sisters Island group. It measures 112 feet wide, 105 feet long, and 18 feet high with a circumference of more than 600 feet. One of the explorers, the researchers aboard the boat, says just when you think there's nothing left to discover on planet Earth, we find a massive coral made of nearly 1 billion little polyps pulsing with life and color. It's a significant scientific discovery, like finding the world's tallest tree. But apparently, they say there's cause for alarm because despite its remote location, the coral isn't safe from global warming and other human threats. But let me say, they were so glad to find it. There they are. They had to measure it, they had to check it out. Also, in the deep sea, have you ever heard of this creature? I'd never heard of this. And this is really the reason to do this story. That shark, he's called the piggy shark. Did you know we had a piggy shark? We do. The piggy shark lives at very deep depths. God, can I speak? And today, or not today, but recently, they found one with leucism, which is different from albinism or being an albino because it's not completely white, but these sharks are supposed to be black or dark brown. And this one was caught in a fishing net. And they say it's ghostly white, the first case of this species of piggy-faced shark having leucism. Otherwise healthy, other than just the pigment change. They say this piggy face shark looks like someone smashed the idea of a shark with a kid's drawing of a pig. They have a small, squat body. They have wide set eyes, a pinkish snout, large nostrils, and a distinct dermal dentis, like tooth like scales that cover the shark body. It gives them a look of being almost fuzzy. So these sharks are found across the eastern Atlantic from Norway to South Africa. They also inhabit the Mediterranean. They stay pretty deep, usually about 200 to about 1900 feet is where their habitat is. And they are critically endangered. So they're kind of hard to find. This recent specimen caught by commercial trawlers off Sazan Island, which is a military zone off the coast of Albania, pretty rare. This is a rare pigment condition that causes an animal's skin, feathers, scales, or cuticles to appear pale or whiter. Here's another picture. It's a regular one. And here's this piggy face shark with the lighter color. Here's one of the researchers holding it in a tank. So, an interesting find. Another interesting thing, a world record set by a band who has performed the deepest concert that we know of. This Canadian rock band went down in a mine and played the world's deepest concert. And they now have the Guinness World Record for the deepest concert underground. The band called the Miners and Sons played a set 8,086 feet and 11.31 inches below sea level inside the Kidd Mine in Timmins, Ontario, or Timmins rather, to set this record. This is in Ontario. The previous record was also set in the same area. This mine has spent 68 years taking rock out and then spent one day bringing it back. Then, according to the percussionist. So there they are. They've performed the world's deepest concert. We talked about Blue Sky. Boy, are they getting a surge in users switching from X after the election. And as I mentioned, this show, the After Party Live, is now on Blue Sky. So if you're on Blue Sky, please check it out. This is a kind of a big thing. I don't know if people are just deleting X and going to Blue Sky, or kind of just keeping X but not really using it anymore. Blue Sky said its membership, and so this is the week of November 12th. So this is last week. Their membership increased from 9 million people in September to 14.5 million last week. And I think it's up to 18 million now. Yeah. In the week following the US election, they gained 700,000 new users. It was originally conceived of as part of Twitter by its former chief executive, Jack Dorsey. This is Blue Sky. He said the new signups are largely from the United States and from the UK as well. Pretty good. Blue Sky says, we're really excited to welcome all of these new people, ranging from Swifties to wrestlers to city planners. So, the exodus over at X is believed to be the cause of Elon Musk's support of Trump. So, I don't know. I guess we're going to have different ways to communicate, right? The conservatives and the conspiracy theorists go on X, everyone else over on Blue Sky. This ways to further separate ourselves. I mean, I know that we need to keep ourselves sane, but on the other hand, if we're so segregated, then we're never going to be able to share ideas. I'll share these ideas with you. How about the Dyson Awards? You know, the Dyson, they make the vacuum cleaners and I guess now some hair products as well. The commercial, I just think things should work properly. They have these awards, the James Dyson Award, and they're looking for things that are innovative. And this is the winner this year. This anti-hair loss helmet for chemo patients has won the 2024 James Dyson Award. It's a scalp cooling wearable for cancer patients, and an another thing that won was an auto rotating weather sensor shaped like a maple seed. Both have been announced as international winners of the 2024 James Dyson Award. So this helmet is called the Athena helmet, and it got this year's global medical winner. So that's pretty cool. It uses scalp cooling to reduce hair loss in chemotherapy patients. It was developed by a University of Limerick graduate, Olivia Humphreys, after witnessing her mom's painful battle with cancer. So she makes this helmet. It's got a battery powered design, uses thermal control modules to cool a reservoir of water stored in a small portable tank, circulated around the scalp through soft tubing fixed to the inside of a headpiece. Helps you keep your hair. So here is the other thing that won. I think I have it in here. There it is. This is the Ericseed Radiosonde. That's what it is. That's what it's called. And what does it do, you might wonder? Well, this one gets the Sustainability Award from the Dysons. They each get 30,000 pounds for further research and development, but the Ericseed Radiosonde was designed to offer a more sustainable alternative to the single-use sensors attached to weather balloons. It was modeled on the auto rotation of maple seeds, so the radiosonde features an asymmetrical shape that makes it spin as it falls. It allows the weather instrument to collect and transmit more atmospheric data to weather stations compared to traditional radiosondes. The device's controlled descent prevents damage as it lands and increases its likelihood of landing in an accessible location, encouraging its reuse. So that's what we have. And those are the two main Dyson Award winners this year. There's a story about an incident at Miami International Airport. This lady is not making her connecting flight. She had a baby near the ticket counter at Miami International Airport, also called MIA. And so she named her baby daughter Mia for Miami International Airport. The Miami-Dade Fire Rescue called out to the airport just after 5 p.m. last week on Tuesday after a passenger's water broke and she started giving birth right near checkpoint 1 in the pre-security area. The firefighters, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents, the Miami-Dade Airport Division staff helped this lady give birth before the ambulance arrived to take mom and newborn to a local hospital. At first, they thought she was having a miscarriage. Then they realized the baby was born alive. This airport employee said the woman was between flights and awaiting a plane that would have taken her to another state when her water broke. She's very lucky it didn't happen aboard the plane. Very lucky. I have a picture of the baby. Look at baby Mia being rolled away. You know, they say you're not supposed to travel when you hit a certain point in your pregnancy. Perhaps maybe she really shouldn't have been trying to take this plane. I don't know. This woman had just arrived on an American Airlines flight from Chicago with her aunt when she went into labor. So the baby was born, named Mia. There she is. Yeah. She's not the first one either to be born at Miami International. Apparently it's a baby facility as well. Shall we do the lotto of the day before we get to the Hide in Your Cave Monday? Let's do it. Here it is, lotto of the day. This one is about a lady in Arkansas. This is quite the birthday present. This woman got a scratch-off lottery ticket as a birthday gift from her son. Happy birthday, Mom. Her son is a frequent lottery player. He likes to give gifts to friends and family members. I wonder if he's had a change of heart. Well, she scratched off those numbers. She's a winner. The son bought a $10 triple red 777 scratch off from Murphy USA in Batesville and gave it to his mom for her birthday. She said, "He's a good son. He always takes care of me." That ticket turned out to be a $200,000 winner. The son said, "I never dreamed it would be a big winner." She says she plans to share her winnings with family. And then we had a winner in California. This woman, she's an overnight nurse. She's working, slogging the overnight shift on her way to work in Reading. She stops at a convenience store to get an energy drink, which she's going to need for that night shift, and some scratchers. So there was only one of her typical scratchers game left. So she also bought three $10 Power 10 games. And it was that change in routine, she said, that made her a millionaire. Her name is Stacy. She goes to work at the night shift as a nurse, and that is where there's a time during her break where she scratches off her lottery tickets. She said, "I started scratching and I saw one and commas, and I was like, oh my God." My coworker thought I was telling her she did something wrong. I said, "No, I think I just won $1 million." She said she had 5 other people at work examine that ticket. And she said it didn't really sink in until I had the money and I could see it in my bank account. And she said it still feels surreal. She is not quitting her job as a nurse. She told the lottery she's finally relieved to be able to live comfortably. She said, "I'm debt free. I can finally think about retirement." She said, "I used to feel that I'd probably have to work until the day I died." So there she is. Gotta love it when a night nurse wins $1 million. That feels really good. It is time for Hide in Your Cave Monday. Just in case you are thinking, "I want to hide in my cave and I don't want to come out," I have the caves for you. This week, we head to Sonoma County. Now, there are some beautiful wine caves in Napa as well. But since the show originates from Sonoma County, this is where we shall start. And this is the beautiful wine cave at Alexander Valley Vineyards in Healdsburg. Big set of double doors leading into this wine cave. 25,000 square foot tunnel stretches deep inside of a hillside. It holds 10,000 barrels, and the temperature in the cave only really varies about 5 degrees from winter to summer. It's between 58 to 63 degrees in this wine cave. Perfect. They have complimentary daily cave tours. You can go look at the barrel aging process. There's nothing like wine tasting in a wine cave. It's high romance. They'll let you look at the winemaker's spice cabinet. So pretty cool. This is a really popular wine cave in Sonoma County. If you're planning a trip, put these on your list. This is Bella Winery, and it is really beautiful. It's also in Dry Creek Valley. It's a small family-owned winery, 7,000 square feet of caves tucked beneath their Lily Hill vineyard. The cave provides 5,200 square feet of barrel storage and working space, and 1,500 square feet of entertainment space as well. There's a tasting room in the cavern on the entertainment side of the cave, so you can see some of the inner workings of the winery there as well. They do seated wine tastings in the cave daily, but they say it's more of an immersive experience. They take you through the vineyard, they take you to the crush pad, and then you get to go down into the wine cave and taste the Zinfandels. You have to call ahead to book that one, though. Here's another one. This is the Benzinger family winery. This one is in Glen Ellen. That's fancy. Looks pretty nice. The folks at Benziger are among industry leaders in sustainability. They like to save energy and money, and that is why they excavated this 30,000 square foot underground wine cave. They say the plan worked. They don't need additional cooling. The year-round temperatures in the caves remain a balmy, barrel-friendly 67 degrees, and that's fine. So, pretty cool. You can go out here and take tours. They will take you on a tractor-pulled tram around the vineyards, the crush pad, the barrel caves. So pretty fun. This is one of my favorites, and this winery is the oldest commercial winery in California. 1857 is when this winery, the Buena Vista Winery in the town of Sonoma, opened. The caves are dim, mysterious, and considered historical landmarks. They have upgraded things there, though. They've got some modern features, some comfortable space to enjoy the wine tasting right from the barrel. They have tufted couches and chandeliers down there now, so it's a little different than it was way back when. They have something called the Bubble Lounge, where you can enjoy Sonoma Winery's sparkling wines and champagne. They have the Grand Reserve tasting, where you get to go into a secluded corner of the wine cave to sample exclusive wines. So, pretty fun. This winery in Kenwood, now there's different articles I found about this one. Some say the wine cave was carved into the shape of a wine glass. Others say, no, the wine cave is carved into the shape of a guitar. Regardless, Deerfield Ranch Winery in Kenwood, it's pretty cool. It's 23,000 square foot wine caves. They have redwood portal doors opening to this path lined with hundreds of barrels, a huge grand tasting room with overstuffed couches and chairs. And when you go to this winery, this is Deerfield Ranch in Kenwood, the wine flight is huge, up to 20 wines to try at one time, including the Super T-Rex and the Old Vine Zin. So here's one. They don't show me, and it was hard for me to find the inside of the cave, but here's what it looks like to get in. Just really beautiful hillside. And this is called the Fritz Winery, and it is in Cloverdale. The proprietor, Arthur Fritz, was focused on sustainability decades before this became a big thing in Sonoma County. So he had his cave built early on. They had to bore a massive hole in the hillside estate area in the 70s. They built this semi-submerged tasting room and a subterranean winemaking facility. It's built in a 3-tier gravity flow design, enabling the underground cave enables the grapes and juice to efficiently be moved between winemaking stages, all while being naturally cooled to the temperature that premium wines require. And they still use this system to this day there. Now, Mr. Fritz's son is in control of the winery. And you can take a tour of this underground cave. You have to make an appointment, though. This is a beautiful place to visit. This is Gloria Ferrer near the town of Sonoma, and they have some really cool underground wine caves here. The winery was established in the 80s, but the family's winemaking history goes back to the 1800s. They have wine caves and educational tastings to tour. They really give you a look at why it can take up to 10 years to create the perfect sparkling wine. They have an in-depth 90-minute tour through the vineyards, followed by a 5-course food and wine pairing at the Vista Terrace. You get to see the caves. Also in the town of Sonoma, this is Gunlock Boonshoe. I love the big doors to get into the cave. And here's what it looks like inside. Here's one set up for a wedding. You can have your wedding inside the cave. How cool is that? I mean, this one's really for the cave lovers, right? So you enter through those heavy wood doors, through this tunnel right off the tasting room courtyard. You can go into one side of the wine cave, and when you're done, emerge on the other side of the wine cave with a view overlooking the vineyards and a really big, beautiful lake. They have a variety of activities. One of the most popular, their Vineyard and Cave Experience, which explores every crevice of the wine cave and ends with a tasting of Gunlock Boonshoe's vintage reserve cab in a majestic cave dining room. Yes, please. There's another one, the Kundi Family Winery. This one is in Kenwood. And that's where you get in. Definitely a working winery out there. Once you get inside, it's fancy. They've got the chandeliers, the dining room. Yeah. This is a 100-acre estate, or rather, I'm sorry, that is not the 100-acre estate. This is tucked into a hillside right behind the Kundi Family Estate Winery. More than 32,000 square feet of wine caves tunnel through ancient volcanic lava flows. They burrow 175 feet below the earth, welcoming visitors with a deep perfume of aging wine and oak barrels. Sometimes when you go down into these wine caves, they smell so good. The caves are used for all kinds of special celebrations. You can have a private meal in the dining room that sits encased in 5 million-year-old volcanic rock. They have redwood tables down there. They have a volcanic rock stage. They have private tours that'll take you really down deep in depth to visit the wine caves. All right, here's another one. This one, we're going to Shug Carneros. Kind of a cool looking cave there as well. This is a German chalet style winery. The underground stone structures polished and glossy and lined with gorgeous barrels. They have comprehensive private tours, and they'll give you a history of their secret winemaking technique. And then there's the Thomas George Estates. I have a picture of that one. Here's the entrance to the cave. You walk in through the barrels at Thomas George Estates. This one's in Healdsburg. 8,000 square foot underground caves at Thomas George. They were excavated in 2010, and now they're a lavish space of rough rock hung with glamorous chandeliers. So pretty nice. You can do a sit-down dinner for up to 70 people in their dining room here. They have a nice Russian River Valley Pinot Noir. They have a good Chardonnay. Pretty good. And again, that is Thomas George Estates in Healdsburg. And that, I don't know, was feeling pretty whiny today, is Hide in Your Cave Monday. We'll go back to wine caves. We'll look at the ones in Napa. They have some beautiful wine caves as well. Well, thank you to Wes Theory for throwing down a $5 super sticker, but he did it via PayPal. And the PayPal information is located in the show description and in the About tab. There's an easy link in the About tab here on the After Party Live. So huge thank you to Wes for always supporting this show. And thank you to all of you for being here as well. Please click like, please click subscribe. Thank you for letting me show you my daughter's musical pursuits over the weekend. I appreciate it. Looking in the chat, see what you guys have to say. Mo says there's much needed fallout shelters for the consequences from the upcoming administration. Wow. Viewfinder says, too bad grapes don't grow underground, except they make grow lamps and hydroponics. So yeah, you could do it, I guess, if you wanted to. No reason to, though. You can grow the grapes on top of the hill and then do the fermentation process in the cave underneath. I've had a bad Chardonnay and Olophidian. Yeah, there's such a thing. I think so. Yeah. I didn't hear this, Mo. Governor Newsom bought a new $9 million 6-bedroom place near here. I think he's from Marin. I don't know where he lives now. Interesting. Yeah. SJ Lola says, thank you for the caves. I have new wineries to visit. Always fun to visit the wineries with the caves, right? Well, that is the After Party Live for today. Thank you for being here. It's a cool down from the Mark Thompson Show. So I appreciate all of you coming to hang out. And make it a great Monday. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, David K. Johnston will pop by to talk about politics, and we'll do Travel Tuesday. We didn't do it last week. We will do it tomorrow here on the After Party Live. So if you have any suggestions for where you would like to go, you can please email me. Here is the email address. I have it. It is kim@theafterparty.live. So please feel free to email me any suggestions if you want to take a virtual trip to a certain locale. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Monday. I'm off to a parent-teachers conference. Fingers crossed it goes well.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Thank you, Teacher Lori. Woohoo! Maybe 20 minutes.